The summoner is filled with rage. He begins with a horrendous prologue about a friar and his journey through hell, although the actual story itself comes later. Accompanied by an angel, a young friar has a vision of hell. The angel guides the friar down through the layers of hell and views many people of varying professions suffering. But the friar doesn't see any friars, so he asks the angel, "Are all friars saved? Are there no friars in hell?" The angel responds with, "No friars are saved, and all reside in one special place in hell." The angel then takes the friar to Satan and requests that Satan lifts his tail. Satan lifts his tail and lets out a torrent of friars from his butt. The friars desperately try to re-enter Satan's buttocks, and with that, the prologue ends. A different friar, one not in hell, was traveling house to house begging for money and food, and he was collecting a substantial amount. The friar was a greedy man who tended to con people out of their hard-earned money and goods. Eventually, the friar came upon the house of an old man named Thomas. The friar was welcomed in and saw that Thomas was quite ill and resting in bed. The uncaring friar told Thomas he was greedy for not donating to the church, even though Thomas explained he was bedridden and not working. Thomas's wife enters and tells the friar how badly their family is doing. She tells him that they've recently lost their only child and her husband's illness has made him irritable. The friar claims to have known their child had died because him and the rest of the friars in his church had seen the child ascending into heaven. The friar then proceeds to tell a sermon about the dangers of greed. He tells stories of knights and drunken bowmen and how their sins led to their untimely demise. Thomas realizes the friar's scam and how ironic this sermon is coming from such an unpious and greedy man. Thomas tells the friar that he does in fact have something to give, but the friar would have to split it evenly among all 12 friars at his church. The friar agrees to this, and Thomas tells him to reach down the back of his pants and grope around below his buttocks. The friar, filled with greed, does as instructed, and Thomas lets out a horrendous fart. The friar, disgusted by getting farted on, told the Lord the entire story of what had happened and requested advice on what to do. A squire in the court overheard the friar's plight and suggested getting a wagon wheel and making each friar sit at a spoke of the wheel. Then someone would fart on the top, and the fart would travel down the spoke and be evenly distributed among the friars. Everyone in the court was satisfied with this response, except the friar.